Welcome back, everybody. On today's episode, we're going to be reviving the 64 Studebaker Wagonaire using as few store-bought parts as humanly possible. This one blurred the line just a little bit between restoration and necromancy. First, we need to recap how I acquired both of these cars. Yes, there's two of them, and I will get you up to speed with kind of where we sit today. If you are one of those individuals with a short attention span, fear not, this video will not end without this car running, and if you'd like to skip a little bit more towards the end to see that outcome. Sadly, I was unable to shoot any footage while we were retrieving both of these cars. Eddie, however, the property owner, was able to get some footage for his Instagram account, and I'll splice that in here with a few pictures that we got along the way to help tell the story. In the spring of 2025, a friend of mine, Bryan over at Road Derelicts here on YouTube, mentioned that he had a line on a couple old Studebaker station wagons. Of course, I said, hell yeah, you can never own enough junk vehicles, apparently. And then I promptly forgot that they existed for most of the summer. This brings us to late July, early August, when Bryan and I were finally able to get into Eddie's place there and start hauling off vehicles. Now, everything that Bryan grabbed out of that yard, it didn't put up much of a fight. We were able to move everything pretty easily. Not so much for the Studebakers. The only rig with a locked up brake drum on that property, of course, was the red and green Studebaker station wagon that you will see here shortly. It was the furthest one away from the road as well, so a little bit of a chore to get that out. It was sunk. We finally got it to pop out of its hole there, and goddamn, I have never seen such a perfect impression of a car's underbelly left in the muck and mud before in my life. If it wasn't so detrimental to the condition of the car, it would have been quite impressive. And the scary part was this was the wagon I had chosen as the intended candidate to put back on the road, and oh boy did plans change there. Now the gold wagon, the one you see behind me here in the carport, you could barely see the gold wagon. There was a coffin resting on it, for Christ's sake. Unoccupied, of course. Initially, we had considered this car to be the parts car of the two, simply because of how stripped down it was. It was literally just barely a rolling shell when we grabbed it. It was a few weeks before we were able to go back to pick up the gold Wagonaire, and the weather was starting to take a turn for the worse. I believe up here in the hills we had already had the first snowfall of the season. Now, loading this car went a little easier, that's for sure. With the exception of there was absolutely no way to steer the car. Everything for its bell crank style steering setup there was completely missing. Despite its flaws and how stripped down it was, I instantly noticed something special about the gold wagon that the other wagon was lacking, and that would be floors. Another point in the favor of this wagon is it is a legitimate Wagonaire, and the green and red station wagon was just a fixed roof Lark wagon. Before we even offloaded this car in my yard here, I had already made the decision to change course, which made my life substantially more difficult than it needed to be, and I instantly started stripping down the green and red Studebaker wagon to cobble this heap back together. So now the roles reversed and the parts car became the other wagon, and from that I grabbed the Studebaker 259 V8 that is now sitting in this car, and coupled to that was a 3-speed column shift transmission, and had some sort of overdrive unit on it. I think it was an R10 system if I remember correctly. I specify that it's a Studebaker V8 because later in the production run of these, I think it was 65 and 66, they are manufactured primarily in Canada, and they would use GM small blocks. Before pulling the 259 out of the other car to stuff in here, I did make sure to at least hear it burble for a few seconds, so I could be relatively confident that after I put in all the time and effort to swap it, I could in fact get it running. I couldn't do a whole lot more than that because the carburetor on it was just complete junk. But it did make a little bit of noise for a couple seconds, and then I proceeded to just tear it right out. That all happened on Halloween Day, and because this is Alaska, we already had snow at that point. So what I did was I took the engine and transmission combo, I plopped it in like an orange kitty sled I've had on the property for years here, and I was able to tow the whole unit across the yard using the four-wheeler, which was a lot easier than trying to fight with the engine hoist or mounting the engine hoist on the back bumper of a truck and moving everything that way. If you live in a similar environment and you don't have concrete floors and everything, those sleds are very helpful for moving very heavy objects across your property. We were plunged into an absolutely brutal winter soon after. The National Weather Service yesterday put out this little infograph deal that I will show you here, and you can pause it to read through it if you're at all interested, but it's been pretty bad. It's really the worst winter I personally have ever lived through up here. We're projected to break the record for the longest period of time below 32 degrees, and today as I'm filming this, if it doesn't reach above 32 degrees, we have that in the bag. Coming up here and working on the Studebaker, weather be damned, was one of the few things actually keeping me sane this winter. So, against all odds, we actually did make quite a bit of progress with the car. My goal when I started this project was to reuse as many parts as I could between the two wagons to make one functioning car, and only buy store-bought parts when absolutely necessary. I'm a cheap ass, what can I say? But it's also a fun challenge to force resourcefulness. Thus far, I've invested less than $500 into this project. I've learned a lot through the process, and I've gained a little bit of confidence for the future. This is the first time I've decided to assemble a vehicle practically from the ground up. I had started to take video clips throughout the process showing how certain systems in the car work and how I was able to figure them out. I decided not too long ago to ditch that style of video because I am in no position to make any informational content. I am by no means an expert. I have no professional training when it comes to anything automotive related. That's fine. I figure it out as I go. People need to remember that you don't need to instantly be an expert in whatever field you're interested in. You just need to get out of your comfort zone and learn as you go.
There you go. Now you got action.
Okay. Things are just got to get more vigorous with it.
Or you put more fuel in it.
Just watch for it to be pissing out everywhere because it leaks from here and the throttle.
Yeah, the spark will find it for you.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
I'm holding the fuel source, so it won't leak that much.
Yeah, are we ready?
It will only fire a little bit.
I hear dripping, but we'll ignore that. I'm hearing sparks.
It's your spark tester.
Yes, but that's usually not audible. I'm going to just plug that straight in.
You have spark.
Yeah.
She cranking a little weak.
Very.
That's just the way this goes. I've never had it crank over any faster.
It was whipping over just fine.
Without plugs in
Well,
it.
I know, but still. It's pretty slow-yo-y.
Is there a way to keep the choke down on that
Yeah,
side?
like that.
We can try the other carburetor too. I think that's part of the problem.
No. It barely even has to carburate right now.
Ready. It's so close, it just won't kick off and continue. The plugs could be fouled.
It could be a little wet right now.
Well, not even just because of the gas, but I had ATF. In
Yeah,
there
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is from that. Where's your wrench?
Yeah, just pull one real quick and look at it.
See, my factory Mopar spark plugs never gave me issues. They just burnt everything. It's not blowing anything. Are we a go, no go?
Your go.
Really good right at the beginning.
Yeah. Now they're probably wet again.
Likes gas.
It does like it.
Okay. Ready to go again?
Oh, sure.
I don't know about that much gas. It liked that. It liked all the squirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I'm carbureting it. I don't
Yes.
think your carburetor's carbureting.
Well, we can try the one
It's,
that you found in the crate.
We can keep doing this until it doesn't do anything.
Until it fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is dying.
But the Venturis aren't Venturi.
Mm.
They're not letting fuel up,
Oh, well, I would.
which is why.
Do you still have eyebrows?
Isn't that big?
I'm kind of wondering if we lose spark.
The team had a discussion while
Okay.
you were away.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, we're not telling Cole. We're just going.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll tell him when we're right and not tell him if we're wrong.
Kind of seems like you're losing spark when you disconnect there.
Hold on. We have fuel.
Yeah. I really am wondering if we should try that crate carburetor.
Bryan is the carburetor.
Yeah.
That was a very nice 1 second there.
Yeah.
This is the kind with the fucking needle in there.
Oh.
So you may lose that.
So is this one.
Oh.
About the same. The needle and seed. Needle and seed. It might work.
Okay.
Only one way to find out.
Put this back in then. Oh wait, we gotta hook the power wire up.
Wait, we
for
need that.
Yeah.
I was wondering. There is no pops.
I know, it's just gonna light right off.
Yeah.
No, I like putting my face in it. Okay.
I don't think this one will allow me either.
You have to have some grace for it. It's cold.
That is an issue we might be dealing with too, yeah. This is like a Dodge.
I mean, it's sounding better. It's less smoky.
Well, it's just burning off the ATF. So.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Do you want to see if there's any oil pressure? If we get it going again?
Bryan is dual purposing.
I mean, I can't give it any fucking anything.
More cranky.
Oh, yeah. It's down here.
Yes.
25. And it's currently not running.
Yes.
Clearly.
Like new.
Does other things.
Keep going.
Okay, how about you come back up to the world of living here? And
I mean, I'm just holding it wide open because it's flooded. So.
Starter continued after I let off there.
Okay.
Keep doing it. Full stop.
If it really
don't
keeps
like
continuing, you just unhook the battery.
Crank.
Oh, better. See? It kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy.
Okay, so the ether went well.
That was potent. Here,
Hand.
a hand warmer.
Hot dogs out.
Very potent.
That almost seems like a valve issue, doesn't it?
The fire?
Yeah.
Well, you just keep running it, and the valves come around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So-
the
If you can get
solution
it
to
the
that.
keep running part.
Well, you keep doing this. They come around.
I should just get in and throttle it and just.
The pedal's not hooked up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so you see this, there's another one of them down below that connects.
How dare you not have this thing ready to go?
I will give you the parts.
Bryan just sprayed himself. Shit. It's gonna take out Cole's light bulb.
That'd be cool.
Why does it keep doing that now?
Because it got a big snort.
I guess let's go back to the gas. That was a little safer at least.
Oh, I mean, I haven't put ether in it for like a minute. So. It's still going on gas.
Do you want to just do a little twisty on that one way or another and see if it makes a difference?
The distributor.
Distributor?
Yes, Cole would like you to adjust the timing.
Try that. So not
Maybe
that.
the other one.
Bad.
Come here, you whore. Okay.
That was gooder.
It likes that.
Yeah. Well, it just didn't have any feel to not like that.
It is getting warmer in this general area.
Yeah.
Yeah, in bursts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of gas.
Okay.
So were we having better luck with the other carburetor or this one?
Holy shit, you cannot change carburetors every 5 seconds, Cole.
This is for
They,
science.
they just stay grumpy for a while.
They
I don't
do.
know, boss man.
Get her going, get her hot, and then go from there.
Okay, that's your gas, sir.
Right, go call before it starts drooling.
Ooh.
Okay, now we're doing business here.
This might work better.
President business.
Yep.
Has a workbench and everything. That was a rowdy sound.
Don't you back talk me.
One's out.
Are you putting air in there?
Blowing the smoke out so I can see the things.
The things.
You mean there's some blow by?
No.
I mean, from the smoke, not blow by.
Shit.
Too slow.
Ooh, slow on the
It
draw.
just needed some words of encouragement.
It did. It needed a better attitude.
If there was blow by, it'd be coming out of here right into my face.
Yeah.
That it might be a complete. Remember when Eddie was telling us about these? The guy he got this from said this engine was fucking tired.
Yeah, that car was tired.
Yeah. So no blow by though.
She ain't tired. She's just fresh.
Is that too much fuel?
No, that's just it doing what it does.
Doing what it does.
Sweet Jesus.
That was an excellent shot, Brian. Good job.
Well, that one wasn't fire.
Get back there. Don't you back talk me.
It might have enough fuel.
Oh, yeah. Cut it with the fuel now. Now that I can see it.
Promising.
I felt that one in my chest.
Same.
Yeah.
It was cool as
Yeah.
fuck. Keep going, Cole.
You felt it in your chest. I felt the heat.
Yeah, Brian felt it in his face.
Call your
Is it?
battery's dead.
It was literally on the charger.
Oh, this is going to be like a 45-minute long video of just Cole being mad.
Yeah, it is.
Eh.
I'm wondering if we should take the contract off and then throw it down there. I can hear it.
Yeah, Brian can hear every one of those.
Hold on. Let's not hold.
We're gonna look at something.
Please. Those can go back on.
Now it's flooding out. Okay. No. That's just letting go.
This is Frog Auto Body after hours.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie. I got one. that it erupts out the top of that accelerator pump. So. I guess feed a little more. Okay, I hear something now. What did you do that for? Do you not know how to run a Studebaker?
Do you?
No.
No. I'm just going till I see gas flood out the
Okay,
top.
see, we want to cut it before that. Now we need to find a rag because that's exactly what caught fire earlier. You could just not touch things.
It's out.
It never was on fire. It was just, that was cool. Yeah. Well, there you have it. The Studebaker Wagonaire does indeed run, and it runs pretty damn well, all things considered. We were struggling with some timing issues. I think we were also combating some sticky valves, and it was just pretty cold in terms of ambient temperature at the time. But in the end, it did come around. It fought us pretty good there for a while. As you could see, we took the valve covers off just to make sure all of the valves appeared to be doing what they were supposed to, and everything checked out there. It just took some persistence to get it to actually fire off. Now that it's done a few heat cycles, it seems pretty okay. I think it's a healthy engine. I haven't edited everything together yet, but I'm sure this video is going to be pretty much 20 minutes of a Studebaker starter pleading for life. But it is what it is. I wanted to kind of show you the process of getting something like this running that has sat dormant for a very, very long time. Because all of the shots so far have been engine bay centric, I'm going to do a very quick walk around of the car, just in case you're unfamiliar with what a Studebaker Wagonaire is. We'll start up here. Of course, the front clip I robbed off of the parts wagon. It is far from perfect, but it's better than nothing. The grille and bumper, it's all pretty respectable. One day I'll either paint match this or find some fenders with a little less rust at this seam here. Still need to get the windshield out of the other car. I'll likely do a video on that, so if I crack the thing in half, at least the entire world of YouTube can see me fuck that up. Otherwise, all the glass is in the car. It's really starting to come around. The interior is more or less all reassembled. I took the seat out just so I could fit my fat ass under the dash and do some work with the wiring under there. You can see there's a bit of a wet spot here on the floor, and that's because initially I had hooked up the heater core in this, just against my better judgment. I guess I was feeling optimistic at that point in time. And overnight, it started leaking, apparently. And with the car up on ramps on the front, it was at the perfect angle to just siphon everything out. And I lost 20-25 bucks worth of coolant on the floor pan there. So I think from now on, I'm going to just stick with the service loop here, instead of hooking up the heater core when I'm reviving something like this, just because it gets expensive when you're throwing away consumables like that. And at the back of the car here, I wanted to showcase what a Studebaker Wagonaire actually is for those who are unfamiliar. Long story short, there's a center section of the roof back here that slides forward, opening up kind of a hybrid of a truck and a convertible and a station wagon all at one time. It was a pretty interesting gimmick for the time. Studebaker was just throwing anything they could at the dartboard, seeing what would stick and bring them back into cultural relevancy. The execution, however, was lacking a bit. And it's not a surprise either. When half of your roof is supposed to be movable on tracks, that's going to be very hard to seal up. And these, in fact, did leak the second they left the dealer lot. Later on, Studebaker would offer an improved weather stripping package for these, which made it better from what I understand. Along with that, they also offered a fixed roof version where this center section of the roof just did not slide at all. Some of these cars actually came with a third row seating option. This is not one, however, I do have the step that would be bolted onto the tailgate here as if it did have the third row seat. So, I don't know why that's there, but it's a cool artifact nonetheless. I have to imagine if you were a kid in the 60s, sitting back here, you know, staring at the traffic behind you, wind whipping through your hair, it would have been a pretty interesting experience. I suppose also, if you were having a midlife crisis back then and your wife wouldn't let you buy a convertible, well, what's the next best thing? Studebaker station wagon and half a roof. But all joking aside, one of the main points they tried to drive home when advertising these cars was the utilitarian aspect of it. Say you went to Sears and you bought a brand new refrigerator, but you don't have a truck. Well, how are you going to get it home? Studebaker with half a roof. You just stand that bitch up in the back here, throw one strap on it, say that ain't going nowhere, and just bomb down the interstate going 70 miles an hour home. All said and done, you're definitely not going to be parked next to another one of these when you go to a car show. I want to say in 64 they might have made 5,500-ish of these. And this is a Daytona with the V8, so I think 1,500-ish, if I remember right, were the production numbers for these. Not a whole lot of them. So finding one in this good a shape up here in Fairbanks, Alaska, pretty impressive. The next time you see this car, we will be tackling the brake system, and I need to transfer everything over from the parts car that pertains to the 3-speed on the column, because this was an automatic once upon a time. I'm hoping, like a lot of other things built back then, they were constructed with provisions for either power plant and transmission combination offered. That would make it a lot easier. Otherwise, there's going to be a little bit of fucking around making all that work. It might be a week or two before I get back to this project, and that's just fine. I spent all winter on this car, and I don't want to get burnt out on it. So a little bit of a vacation from it is not the most terrible thing on earth. In the meantime, I drug the world's worst 1968 Dodge Charger out front here. I'm going to get this up on ramps. We need to drop the transmission, swap torque converters because my stupid ass threw the wrong one in when we were putting this together a year or two ago. Then should be able to get this running and driving. I have everything needed to do a disc brake conversion on the front, so it's easier to isolate the system compared to four-wheel drums. Then it should be a yard driver. We're never going to go down the road with this thing, but it's one of those projects. Everybody asks why bother, and that's exactly why I'm bothering with it, because we can.